Are you thinking about selling an investment property but are concerned you're going to get hit with a large tax bill if you sell it? Check out this video on 1031 exchanges and learn how you can defer your tax liability. Hi, Barry here with the Lawful Channel. On this channel you're going to find short legal videos on the topics that affect your life. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And if you have any legal questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me. If I can't help you, I'll find someone who can. Hi, I'm in downtown Chicago with real estate attorney Janila Slajewski. We're talking about 1031 exchanges, so the first question really to ask is, Janila, what is a 1031 exchange?
Sure, 1031 exchange is the sale of one investment property and exchanging it for a second investment property. By doing that, you don't have to pay any tax immediately on the sale of the first investment property.
So you can just exchange any property you want, or does it have to be a specific property?
No, so you can only exchange like-kind property. So typically that would refer to the property either being real estate or personal property. So for our purposes, we're going to talk about real estate. So it can only be property that's held for investment. So a lot of people ask, well, can I buy and flip homes? Typically that is not going to qualify as an investment property because you have to hold it for a period of time. Typically we recommend that the property is held at least 12 months, if not 24 months, in order to fall into that investment category. Properties that are held, perhaps to be rented out, or maybe vacant land is held for 20 years in order to appreciate or maybe ultimately develop. Those are examples of investment property.
So has the new tax code changed the way that people are using 1031 exchanges?
Yes, effective January 1st of this year, you can no longer do a personal property exchange. So that would be a situation where maybe someone's trading artwork for artwork or baseball cards for baseball cards. So those used to be opportunities for people to sort of take an increased value of maybe a piece of art and exchange it for maybe two new pieces of art, right?
But is there any difference now from the tax code as it affects real estate?
No, real estate is still available to be used in a 1031 transaction.
So I'm curious, what are the primary benefits, the real benefits of using a 1031 exchange?
Well, the primary benefit is deferral of tax, but because you're deferring tax, that also results in additional equity that you can roll into a new property. So it helps to maximize the value of your existing property and roll it into a new property so that you can continue to make your money work for you in a way that's more efficient than, say, completing a sale and then paying tax on the sale right away.
So do you have any tips for people in terms from a real estate lawyer's perspective on what they should look out for when dealing with 1031 exchanges?
Yes, absolutely. My first tip is to gather your team early. You're going to need a tax accountant, an attorney, real estate brokers, financial advisor, a qualified intermediary, a title company. All of these players have to work together to make it happen. So you want to gather them as early as possible. Make sure everyone's communicating and understanding what's going to take place throughout the process, because the timelines are very, very important. And that leads to my second tip, which is to identify your replacement property early. Once you close your first transaction, you only have 45 days to identify the property that you want to exchange it for. So you really have to be on top of the ball with that, with your real estate broker, and identifying your replacement property pretty quickly. And then the final tip that I have is, 1031 sounds like a great idea, right? Who wants to pay taxes if they don't have to? But it's not for everybody. Investing in real estate typically means that your liquidity is somewhat restricted, and you don't have access to cash immediately. So if you are in a situation where you're going to need cash, you want to just be careful getting into a 1031 or any real estate investment in terms of your overall investment strategy, because you do want to keep your liquidity and cash flow in mind.
Okay, well, Janila, thank you very much for talking with us today about what seems to be somewhat of a confusing topic. If you are thinking about engaging in a 1031 exchange, feel free to reach out to us. I'm happy to put you in touch with Janila, and we can see if she can help you going forward. So now it's time for your take on the law. Have you dealt with a 1031 exchange before? What was your experience like? Tell us about it in the comments below. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. If you want to see more short videos on the legal topics that affect our lives, please consider subscribing to our channel. And if you have any questions or comments on any legal related matter, please feel free to reach out to me. If I can't help you, I'll find someone who can.